What are you doing?
Just kind of hanging out.
Boo. We don't allow hanging out.
Uh, uh.
Um, it's not good. Here we go. Why are you moaning?
What program is he using to animate?
I don't know. Might be godot itself. What? Alright, here we go. All right. Mr. Dirone, just doing some tests, that's all.
What do you sound like that?
Is it crunchy sounding?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be crunchy sounding. Okay, let's do that. Oh, it's not any different. Never mind.
It's pretty bad still, yeah.
Okay, we're going to do this one then. Probably still no difference.
Yeah, still no difference. Okay, you cut out completely. You're like cutting out bad.
Hold on. Okay, we're going to do this one then. Probably still no difference. It might get better. I don't trust it to get better. Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. What are you doing and why are you doing that?
Eating?
Yeah. I don't get it. Like I sound really quiet and like the background noise sounds super loud in my stream. Dude. Stop crumpling that shit right now. Oh, okay. Maybe that did something? Maybe Elgato software was like the... Yeah, I'm gonna turn this off and see if this is good enough. Do you hear a difference? Do you hear a difference?
Lizard.
Maybe that's it. Oh, there we go. So you still don't hear a difference? No? Okay.
Yeah, no difference still. Hold on. Do that.
No. I'm not gonna do that. He's using graphic scale version 2.
What? I've never heard of graphic scale version 2 before.
Yeah.
I'm not coming through on the stream at all.
I had you pretty quiet.
No, it just took me that long to react. Never mind. Golly.
Yeah, now you know how long it takes to react.
Yeah, no, that felt like, to me that felt like a couple seconds, and here it was like 15 seconds, man.
Your reaction time is in fact that slow. It's usually
Dude,
worse.
no wonder I'm bad at CS.
Okay, so we got our variables, our functions. Okay. I already know a little bit too much of this, to be honest. Minus equals? No, I'm not showing on stream.
Yeah, the screen's black.
G-script, Java, Python.
Your screen is black on the stream.
You have to wait.
You're saying minus equals.
I'm telling you to wait.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Fucking take damage. What?
Mm-hmm. I just want to jump straight into things rather than looking over these again. Because I was down to like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It
A
is
lot of this is
actually,
pretty simple.
it's just that I don't want to have to do everything to get back to 13, but I kind of have to so that I'm not missing things. Run the code. Okay, let's do the next thing. Here's an error. Okay, I know what errors are. We can go to the next one. Okay, the return is commented out. What do you think you're doing? Get out of here. None of that.
All right. I'm gonna read some books for a little bit.
Boo. Stand on the shoulders of giants. Libraries. Godot has libraries, of course. Libraries are for chumps. Build your own libraries. Hello, CJ. Calling functions. All right, function, run, then hide, which will make the thing hide. Rotate by 0.3 radians. Just a little bit of math right there. It disappeared. Was this it? Oh yeah, an angle of 2 times pi corresponds to 360 degrees. The angle of pi radians corresponds to 180 degrees. I don't know I don't know if I get that right now. Makes okay. I'm kind of speed running, so I'm getting things wrong. Yeah. Uh, if you don't have to listen, I was just letting you know that what I was doing. If I'm too distracting, CJ. Another example with move underscore local dot underscore x function. You can move the characters left and right, the function, the argument. The complementary function move local y up and down. What is the syntax you use to call a function in general? I think this sounds right. Ethan podcast rule. Okay, I'll do my best. Rotate. Side run. I actually did need to pay attention. We need to go backwards. I feel so rusty. Show. Okay. I forget why you need the parenthesis after. Do I write the unit in here? Yeah, I can put the unit inside of there. So I guess this is the rotate. It kind of already knows what rotate is, and then you can put the argument. So a unit is an argument. You can put the argument side of the parentheses. Okay, move the turtle. I wonder if I can get away with skipping to the here, because I kind of get functions already, just a little bit, and I don't need to just type out move forward, move left, move right, and then units over and over. So function of the parameter, a label you give to a value the function receives. A number you make, yeah, that's that one. You give your function parameters. Oh, parentheses equals parameters. Okay. Excuse me. You can give parameters any name. How you name functions and parameters is up to you. Just remember that names cannot contain spaces. Okay, so draw a square. Right. It functions are pretty simple. It's just um kind of understanding scope for those kinds of things is really important. Scope is like how big or how small of anything you want. Like scope is just generally meaning like the size. So it's like, what does this function need to all include? Like, if you run everything under one function, it'll have to run the whole function over and over again to run the same, just to run like one line of code. So that's not efficient. So function name, parameter name. Looks right. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Multiple parameters, which are separated by commas. The following example defines a function that uses two parameters to move an entity on both the X and Y axis. Optional. What is the correct syntax? I think that's it. Function name, parentheses, parameter 1 with an underscore, comma, next parameter with the parentheses on the end and the colon on the end. Drawing corners of different sizes. Using multiple parameters within two parameters, code a function that draws corners with any angle. I'm trying to think of any of these are actually things I need to do over again because I've done a few of these. Drawing squares of any size. I feel like these are all just like kind of repetitive. With one parameter, you can make squares of any size. With two, you can draw a rectangle. Let's try this one. Draw a rectangle. The length and your job is code a function draw a rectangle that takes two parameters, the length and the height. Note that we could still draw a square with draw a rectangle by having the length and height equal the same value. Does it want me to put length and height in here? See, I might be skipping too many things again. Let's make a square drawing function more flexible to include. I feel like I can figure this out. It's just how does this course want me to do it as well? Sometimes the course wants you to have very specific ways of doing things. And even though you can get you can get to what you want, it won't know that it's right. You want a function to draw squares of any size. See, also like things, it has like a few arguments, or I don't know what you would call them. Like length is kind of like a function in itself. So when you tell it to do length, you have it define length. But it's defining length for you. Okay, func, draw square. Let's see if I can get this one done. My bad. Draw. Shit. Can't type. I'm missing a G. And then that in the end. Now, do I make it equal something while we're in here? See, I just have to go back to figure out where I'm supposed to be going. All right, we're gonna start correctly. Not too much jumping around. One moment, I've gotta pull up some music. A little too quiet in here. We playing a little bit of Zatol. You can't hear it. Yeah, you can't hear it. Which is how I want it. Draw corner. Incomplete function that will draw corners, lines of any length, but it's missing a length parameter. I'm skipping because I've gone down to lesson 11 before, and then I've done stuff on my own, so I know how to do stuff, and I am trying to it's also like if I go over all of these things, it's like it uses up brain power, and so I'm trying to, you know, use brain power efficiently and give me, and so that I can you know, I'm not wasting brain power on things I've already done before, and just need a little bit to remember. The function will move the turtle forward an amount defined by the parameter length. You draw a corner. We're using a hint. You need to add parameter length 3 times in this practice. See, this doesn't sound right. My problem is that it's giving me functions and expecting me to use them when I would write my own functions. Like I would write out like function length, and then I'd have the next function call length. Save it, yeah. I know the patterns. I can feel my way around, but I also want to make sure that I'm not forgetting division when I'm trying to move on to, you know, square roots. The functions are sequences of instructions. We give a name. Identifier, using the identifier, we can get the computer to execute all of the instructions inside the function as many times as we need. So the function calls. Move and rotate. See, it's... Oh yeah, well, I guess it is doing turn right 90. So it's move, rotate. Ugh. Yeah, length is the distance between things. I just didn't know how it wanted me to use it. And this simple... Oh, hello? Oh. I don't know if you could hear that. Hear that. It's a little bit vague, and then it's like it knows certain functions that you haven't told it yet. Like normally you'd have to write out more to get some of these things to work the way they do. It's just kind of like skipping over those things so you can get an idea. Dude, I just like sneezed my brains out. Ugh. Instructions inside the... We'll start with a leading tab key. Tab key. Why do we use functions? All three right here. Names and code have rules. Okay. I know about that. I don't think you can start with a number. Did it say that? Can't begin with a number. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. In order to jump multiple squares. Jump. Okay, so 4 sides to a square. Oh man, chill out. Do I have no way of waiting that? Okay, there we go. I think this is good enough. Oh, I forgot the colon, guys. Okay, I forgot the R as well. Chill out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so underneath this, I need to write what? Func jump. What? Create call. Oh yeah, draw 3 squares. Square S. My gosh. Been too long since I've done this stuff, man. So we want to do draw a square, jump 300, 300, and we do that 3 times. Wait, the jump has to come before. No. No, we just need that then, right? Okay, cool. The parameter name is always a label you use to refer to a value. Makes sense. The value in question can be a number, text, or anything else. Number is integer. Text is... What is the name for text? But it's also boolean, which is yes or no. Or 1 or 0, I guess. Man, that's bothering me now. Forget how texts are referred to. For now, we'll stick to numbers as we have yet to see other types of values. Sure, bud. Okay, I was already here, but... Mhm. Mm. Complete the draw corner function so it uses the link parameter to draw corners. I still just don't get why this isn't making sense to me, because the parameter is length in here. Gosh, where is E? Okay, so length goes in here. And then what? The function will move or by the parameter of length. I just don't like this. What am I supposed to do here? Length. I don't think. See, it's not even. This isn't right, and it's just making me upset. But it's right, but I don't like it because length, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just that, I don't know. Length isn't defined. So it's like, I mean, I define length myself, but like, I don't know. I guess. Sometimes I just get bothered by little things, and it's hard for my brain to like it. I don't know. I don't know. All right. I disagree with the way that this is doing certain things, and I get too upset by it to be reasonable. I'm just weird like that. Add angle, perimeter after length. So angle. Will it just like come up with a random angle if I don't even put it in there? Yeah. See, it's just like making up stuff. I mean, like even in game, if we did like draw square, this and that, like it wouldn't. I don't know. It just wouldn't even feel like this. I feel like that was a decent warm up. What am I? I'm like 40 minutes into like warming up. We're gonna get into it. We're just gonna get into it. I'm gonna download the most recent version of Godot. We're gonna put this somewhere. Okay. I'm gonna hide my screen. RQ. I shouldn't have anything to hide, but just in case. What was this? I'm getting distracted again. All right, so CJ, here's where I left off. I already just skipped how to make UI input and mention nodes because that's what I think is important. Oh, skip to how UI input and mention nodes. Yeah, there's just like a few like 5 different like little things. I say 5, but I just threw out a random number. Just like little things here and there where if you don't like see how they do it there and then you move on down to other stuff, it just gets lost all over again.
Transfer your consciousness. You lost it.
Huh? Yeah, I know that. Anyways, I was gonna show CJ where I left off. Get out of here. This ain't your stream, bro. Get out of here.
Oh, bro, this is my ball.
Oh, wait till you try C sharp. I did a very little in C sharp. Very little. It wasn't the worst. It's just I didn't do a lot. Okay, so see, I left off here. Main is main. What did I have for main? So I had a label. Let's click play here. I forget what. I think I love Deadland. Dylan's gone. I deported him. So when I run this, it runs this script. Okay, yeah. So I don't have my underscore action bound anymore. So if I go into editor, edit settings, shortcuts. I forget where it is. It's been so long. It might even no, I don't even think it's shortcuts. It's like project settings maybe? Oh yeah, input map. Backslash. My action is backslash. So backslash is my action. So if event is released, my action, it will take the thank you. It takes the node, which $, I guess, is like location, the name, and then I don't know, dot, and then you modulate, and then equals color, and then here's the color. So if I do backslash, there we go. So that's where I left off with that. I forget how you exit. Okay, there we go. For some reason, this is underneath voxel chunk. Don't ask me. And then voxel world, I hadn't done yet. And then block type. So extends resource. Resource is right here. I don't have any code for resource unless this is a yeah, I don't have resource yet. I think it extends the node resource here. Class name. And I don't know. I barely remember any of this. Export, which is the wrong thing to do. var ID, so it's an integer, so it's a number between, it's a whole number between, 0 and whatever the fuck. Oh yeah, here it is, right here. Yeah, I'd like to make a character move. Although, I'm hesitant to do 2D. Yeah, 3D? Okay, well, the way that 3D and 2D works is pretty much similar. It's just that you have to learn how to hook up your mouse input into the camera adjustment, and then that's it's a whole thing right there. Display name string. So yeah. For what shaders? I think Godot handles. I'm pretty sure Godot handles all of it. It's just I don't remember how it does it. Oh, 3D node mechanic works? Huh? Yeah, that's no, I was trying to figure out how to do blocks. So block type. Is it solid? Is it opaque? Huh? I don't really know either. Oh yeah, no, actually there is shaders. You just like import shaders at a different spot. I forget where though. It's its own thing. 3D, I mean, I don't know. I guess I just started on 3D, so it was tile top, side, bottom, block ID, air, stone, dirt, grass, wool, block database. We have blocks, material, standard 3D. So that's as far as I got. It looks like. So I had the mechanic scenes, the voxel scripts, world scenes. I was trying to layer it all out, and it got to be a lot. It could be first person, third person. Yeah, and then some games do it to where you can like switch between, and I think I could kind of show you pretty quickly what that would look like. So new folder. Let's see how much I can do by memory. Let's just do player. On. Capital P. Player. Camera mode. I don't remember having to figure that out. But I was following tutorials very closely to get that done. So here's 3D. Player. Under player you have Multiplayer spawner. Multiplayer synchronizer. These are new. HTTP request, all new. Shader globals override world environment. Is it a node 3D? I guess a 3D node would be. Then you have your camera here. We create that. May not function as expected without. Oh. I don't think that's right. Hold on. Oh, camera 3D, my bad. Just regular camera 3D. Oopsies. Actually, so movement is pretty complex. If you want it to just do something, sure, you can do constant, but like also gravity, yes. Unless you're using physics, and then the physics will handle gravity for you. But you could, yes. So physics could handle things like gravity, but then when you make a function like jump, you can tell it, you know, kind of more specifically, either you can give it like a velocity, which is like a speed. So you give it like a speed, and then if you give it a vector, which is like a just a direction. So if you give it jump, direction is like up, and then a speed, that's one thing. But then for more natural movements, you want acceleration, because you know when you start moving, you don't start moving at full speed. You start slightly slower, and then you work your way up. So you use acceleration, and acceleration is velocity over time. What? It really depends on what kind of game you're doing.
Going for a platformer, which is kind of what I thought he was doing. Having something that'll like.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the player here. Collision shape 3D. We want to do something very, very, very basic here. So here's collision shape 3D. So it's all basic shapes. We come over here. We have basic built-in shapes: sphere, cube, capsule, cylinder, height map, world boundary, convex, concave. We're gonna do capsule. Let's take this camera. We're gonna move it up by holding onto the y-axis here. We're gonna move it forward and then up, like that. Kind of like at the top of the head. Top of the capsule where the head would be. Okay. Let me go back down here to, what is this telling me? Collision shape 3D only serves to provide a collision shape. Please only use it as a child of area. Hold on. Let's make sure I went through this correctly. I feel like I did. I don't know what his problem is. And yet it still has problems? With what? Please only use it as a child of... Oh, okay. And then...
TJ, 3D animation's easy as hell because you just work with line graphs. So you just choose, here's your position here, and then you go like 100 frames forward, here's where you want it to end up. And then you do a line graph that will give it an automatic curve that you want it to, and it'll go there to there, and then you can just make it slow
That
down
didn't
and
make
slow up.
any sense, Dylan.
It's 3D animation's way easier than 2D animation, like drastically easier than 2D animation.
But
That's why everybody uses it over 2D animation nowadays. It's cheaper too.
Okay, so
2D
now
animation, you gotta like draw every single frame. 3D,
we need to give
automatically
him a rigid body 3D, a 3D body, 3D physics body that is moved by physics simulation.
I know a certain part of my body that's rigid right now.
So wait, do we do player? Rigid. I think we do that. Yeah. So then, so we have the rigid body, which has a mass, a gravity scale, mass distribution. You know, input, ray pickle. You know, all the normal stuff.
Just what is it? The fucking 12. Yeah, look up the 12 principles, 12 basic principles of animation, and then like that clears pretty much everything you know about.
Dylan said that he'd be doing all of the artwork and animation, so you don't even got to worry about it.
I'm gonna fucking try to. It's been too long, but.
There's one other. They added a bunch of 3D, I mean not 3D, VR stuff. And it's in my way of understanding these other things. There's another thing we need. Okay, so this is all of the nodes that you would want typically, like the very basic nodes that you'd want. We're gonna save that as player.tsn inside of the player. We're gonna add 3D scene. We're gonna we're gonna delete this node. We're gonna add a hacker. We're gonna do node for 3D tile-based maps. What is that?
3D stuff in a professional setting. There's usually a lot of different roles that go into it. So animator is going to be like one of the last things that are done is animation itself. But before that, you know, you've got the modelers who create
mesh
the models
library.
Themselves. People who do rigging to make it so those models are movable and customizable.
Whoa.
And then you got textures, and then people who do the shading.
Okay,
and stuff
so we're
like
gonna.
Well, it's all very highly specialized at the top level of stuff. I only know how to model and rig is what I was all right with back in school. I could not texture for the life of me, and I was okay at the animations.
Where did I see? I guess maybe it's just collision shape 3D, which needs to be where's area 3D?
There's a search function.
I know. I just deleted it all. Why are you constantly munching? You're just eating something else, and now you're eating another thing? Oh yeah, character
I had a
body
banana.
3D. Okay, so it's underneath 3D node. Oh my gosh. CPU particles, GPU particles. There's just so many new things in here. CJ said, thanks for doing all of that. Or something like that, basically. He said, thanks for being in charge of all of that.
I see, yeah. How'd you manage to convince him to spell my name wrong?
No, he said that's just how it is.
No, I remember reading through this and seeing you do that.
No, that's just the way he said it was. Make the floor nice. The hell's happening here? Why is it still transparent?
It is a little frustrating that I lost Payno.
Your drive is, you know, not completely dead. Like, it's dead, but, like, it's probably savable.
Well, I can almost definitely talk to my old professor and be like, yo, you think you still have that? And I think he will. I've got his phone number here. This is Payno, by the way. I'm going to send him. It's that GIF I send of the fish looking ass thing spinning.
We got our base level here with a collision shape. And then we're going to we're gonna add player, and we're gonna add base level.
I got shit in here from 2016. Why don't I have?
Visibility on.
Damn.
I don't remember where that was anymore. Oh yeah, debug color. Forget how to give things just textures. It's been too long. I don't know if world boundary can have a texture is why. I think that the thing I used to use is no longer in the game, or in the whatchamacallits. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I'm just seeing how much I can do by memory, and then I'm gonna. I'm just gonna look it up. Player. Play. It's not player, it's character? Yeah, character. Okay, so we have player, default node, camera 3D, player body 3D, player shape 3D, direction mode, grounded, floating, constant speed, got the key.
Found one of my old 2D animation practices too. Did I make this one? Oh yeah. Yeah, I drew this one. Yeah, I was pretty good at that back then. Three simple enough. You just add a material that is a solid color, and then you apply it to the mesh that's on the ground.
on a separate file than oh yeah. So here I have a lot of the basics. I have your player, camera, the collision shape, and then an area. This is an area, and then this is the test area where we're spawning in us on a test platform, which we can't see anything because in this test area we need to add a world environment, and then we need to create a new environment. I'm not sure why you would want let's see if this works now. No. What am I doing wrong here? Our player has a camera. It's because the camera's inside of the body. There's no texture to it. I doubt that's what it is, but let's just make sure. I'm doing this all from memory, so it's kind of part of the problem. Ambient light? Should we make the ambient light white? Doesn't seem like it. Color from this sky? Sky. Empty sky. New sky. Sky material. Man, it's been so long. Still nothing. What am I forgetting? What? It's not transformed anymore, dude. Okay, here we go. Still nothing. What am I forgetting? Happening. Whoa. Hmm. Ambient light. Freaking default color? More orange. Shouldn't you add a solid color to C? It's full gray. Well, so here we have the player and the area, it should be reflecting off of this floor here. The sky is completely gray. You're supposed to use the world environment somehow here. Forget how though. It shouldn't just be like a black. Like a. And see how it's still just black here? That doesn't make any sense. Sky material, procedural sky. Okay, here we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Can't tell if you're moving or not. Oh, I don't have the script set up to be movable. Okay, so we got somewhere. Don't like how the ground underneath is brown, but whatever, dude. Okay, maybe, I think I have to give it another node for the Textured. I just don't know what texture. I forget. Dylan, why are you blasting that shit, bro? Okay, now. Add a new folder in my Godot folders and name it textures. Okay, let's see if I can do this. All from memory. All from memory. Okay. Oh man, I don't remember how to do any of this. Okay. Light work. I am working with lights. I forget where I saved all of this. Does anybody remember? It's called Voxel. Wait, before I get too deep, I think I actually I had a more up-to-date one that I was doing. It was on my desktop. Forgot about that. Oh. Voxel is that. Okay. Never mind. False alarm, guys. False alarm. Oh, it saved them to documents. That explains it. What the? Did you eat some of these? How are they? They're small? I like them small. I like them small. I like them small. Oh, I like them small.
Like small. I gotta just look down. It's right there.
Okay. Dylan doesn't like them small. Where am I? Like, what is going on? I don't even remember what I'm doing anymore. Stop. That's what she said. Well, I hope she likes them small, because that is good for me. That is good for me. Is this not good enough for you? What do you mean? Oh, here we go. Okay, we're back to where we were. I guess I need to put the textures. I don't know. I feel like I should be able to just like grab stuff from outside of the Godot thing, but okay, so does the area 3D importer mesh work to where I can just like do something like this? No. Absolutely not. Okay, here. Maybe what we do is importer mesh. Path, name, skin. Yeah, this is not what I'm supposed to be using. Texture, yeah, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head how textures work. I don't know why I'm being obstinate and I'm not like just like looking these things up. I'm just kind of like feeling my way around, trying to remember how things worked again. Okay. What should I do that is more productive than this? Probably like actually learning things, right? Rather than just like whatever the heck I'm doing right now. Think you gotta add it in the Godot assets file. New resource? No. I think whatever node you're using has to be able to take a texture in the first place. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Visibility. Oh, you don't have an assets file. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I have a texture area. I guess all of my assets could go into here. It's just, forget which 3D nodes you put textures in or on. Importer mesh sounds pretty good, but that's not it. XR node is not it either. What am I missing? Collision, area. Maybe it's area 3D? Can the area 3D be? Maybe it's the area 3D. Gravity? Whoa, it's not right. Collision. Transform. Visibility. See, it's none of those. Static 2D body. Yeah, maybe it's just like static. Where's static? Nowhere to be seen. These things are hiding from me, man. That's my problem. Oh, static 3D body. Okay. Animatable. So let's do static 3D body. Huh?
Just having rice ready all day is really nice.
Yeah. Oh, why is area 3D mad? Has no shape. Shoot, I did it in the wrong order. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Make scene root. What am I doing? I think I need I think I need to do something different here. Area 3D collision, and then I don't want two collision.
The most confusing thing watching the video while being in this call.
Watching what video?
Your stream.
What about it?
It's just really fucking confusing. I don't know who's talking when. By who I mean you.
One comment in, you pass him.
Yeah.
I'm like back to where I was.
Do you have any
What?
soy sauce?
No, bro. If you don't have soy sauce, you need to go grocery shopping, dude.
I just used the last of mine. I ran out. That wasn't enough. I'm just gonna go salt this with just some straight salt.
Wait. Static body 2D. And I swear I just did that and it didn't work. I don't know if the static 2D body can be the root node. It's a problem. So static body 3D, and it needs a collision shape. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I don't need all three. Dude, was I overthinking it this whole time? Okay, no, but that once it's physics material? What is a physics material? Yeah, this isn't right either. I don't want to give it a path to do because it's probably not right. It's not this. It's not any bones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how much does it cost to fly to the Philippines?
$900.
That's about the fuck's.
I feel like I was just here and this wasn't right. Oh no, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're so good. So here's texture. Oh. I need to make this way bigger. Why aren't these two linked? Okay, that's need to be way bigger. Okay, I need to. Roughness? Oh, that's not it. What is that? Oh, that is normal. A normal map, a rough map. Dylan,
Huh?
is a normal map a rough map?
Normal map has to do with lighting.
Okay, here's
So it's like adding
roughness.
depth without having depth.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to figure out which are which. So I have the albedo, roughness. Oh, here's normal map. And then normal map. I'm not sure if I did any of this right. Dang it. Again, that happens. Okay, so I can't look around. Oh.
This is a 3D third-person demo featured in the documentation. Let's read the thing. A 255 strings code page with 150 strings physics update function contains 14 if statements. Yeah. If your project is anything like that, I want you to know, you deserve better. And I am not talking about dividing your physics update into functions. Follow me, and I will show you how you can start your project in a way you won't experience bitter regrets in the future. Welcome to Autonomous Model. It changes in the model fields and knows nothing about the simulation process. So there is no reason to have the code of these different parts to be in one place. And you don't need them in one place. What are they even doing here? Why aren't they all independent components? Today we are using 2 input fields and 1 model field. But it isn't for long. Isolated input package is nice to have, but what our model does with it? Oof, our model is actually still uses the if something then something approach. Let's talk about it. You won't create. What in games is not a state machine? Not in an implementation sense, but in a mathematical one. For a fencing game with long lock-in animations, probably the whole character is a state machine. In a dynamic movement shooter like Apex Legends, the character is probably a sum of 2 state machines, legs and torso, so it can shoot, throw grenades and use abilities, all together with jumping, sliding and wall running independently. But why bother? Well, imagine you have a character that can have 40 states. That's 40 behaviors. Even if you have a perfect binary definable branchings, your physics update function needs to have 6 if statements. But in reality, to define between 40 states, you will probably need about 30 branching operators in one function.
This guy's so hard to understand.
Update function in your project. But what if I tell you it's easier to have 40 small scripts? Because in the case of script per state basis, the branches aren't trying to define every of 40 states. Branching only defines if the state is in need of transition in the first place, and that only if it is, to define a row to several possible states it can be transitioned to. I hope I sold the idea. Now let's implement it.
Okay, so this guy has player, visuals, collider, input, model, idle, run, jump.
First thing you need is a container for a state machine. The ideal candidate is our already defined model node. Second thing you need is to decide between thin container with smart states and smart container with thin states. Smart container is a container that contains all transitional logic and only delegates the model properties updating to the states. This experience can be similar to an if galore, but more organized and again only a transition logic there. You can think of using it when you have small amount of highly tight states.
This is a lot. This is really complicated.
The encapsulation class that only routes the input request to the state similar to API.
So basically this guy I'm watching right now is like talking about how like in AAA you're dealing with your character doing like lots of different things, and to be able to animate properly for all of those different states, you kind of want them to be like different.
Yeah, you've got like all the in-between animation states, which are that's really difficult and really hard.
Well, it's more of just like you need to know, you need to be able to like basically segregate your codes into like idle is different than run, and run is different than jump, and then uh you're gonna have that for attack, crafting, casting spells. You just need to have them all separated.
Gate. And then states themselves are responsible for both transition logic and model update cycle. I will
You
base
need to
this
have all of them be
tutorial
able to translate, transition from one to another. So idle transitioning into run, run transitioning into crafting. You know,
Just have it
all
just
that
be
stuff.
a gradual transition between everything.
Mhm.
Put some tweeners in there and you're good.
container approach. Godot
Well, luckily with 3D animation, the in-betweens are kind of done automatically. So it's just a matter of tweaking the transitions.
I used just in link access. You can literally health nodes container.
Bro, explaining functions on variables, bruh. Yeah, that was crazy, but it makes a lot of sense. It's just that like the setup to getting to walk, like to getting your character just to walk, is a lot more. But once you are there, adding something on top of that is really simple. And then when it breaks, it's like specifically one thing is breaking rather than you know, like 400 lines of code and you're like something along in here is doing something wrong. It's like no, it's like specifically walk is broken, specifically is run is broken, or maybe it's like the transitioning between walking and running is broken. You know, it's easier to identify when those things are breaking.
Like timers. Second. Do you
So instead of being like if then, they're all just different nodes.
want to restore fast of this time a transition?
Oh.
This create states and ID. I want to fast. I discovered from I use a console of priority. Now let's finally I can I by state base must contain one for logic update again. Call them whatever I called mine check relevance. It also will variables are all state.
Dude, this guy is too good.
I personally added to start of the work and in a lot of things.
Right. Right. I just pulled up this one not knowing that it was going to be 4 billion lines of code. I mean, not 4 billion lines of code, like 4 billion times more complex than Bracky. This guy. This guy's a G right here.
Good news. Godot is
I'm going to copy and paste that. Sprite 3D. Oh. What the heck? Here.
many of them really have a that works. static body, character body, camera. Most of the properties and other as well as 3 like in 2D.
Hmm. Okay, interesting. Funk is colliding. I can already think of how I'd want to use this. I would make my character have feet. Yes, I had the volume off so that you guys couldn't, so that the stream wasn't picking up my music and then getting copyright whatever. Yes, we're learning together. You were doing other things, but now you're in here. Okay, hold on. I have to add. Let's do this real quick. So add volume, add okay, output. Is this it? I think that's it. That's not right. Sorry, hold on. How do I delete this now? Oh, browser. Oh wait, here we go.
Of course, position now have it.
Why isn't it working? Properties. Why is that not working? Oh.
Fight the Z-axis, but
Yeah, I need my caffeine now.
otherwise the procedure is the same. And then the bad news.
Okay, so that's working now. Get this. All right, sorry, I'm gonna start tinkering around.
The bad news is that while Godot tries its best to ease this transition, the world of 3D graphics is vast and complicated. While 2D games work by drawing sprites, in other words, flat images onto the screen, 3D games combine a lot of different asset data, such as meshes, textures, character rigs, and animations, with the in-engine rendering tools such as shaders, lighting, particle simulations, and post-processing effects. The pipeline for this can quickly become pretty complicated, and it's definitely an area where I see a lot of misunderstanding.
I still haven't seen a rigged character do animations in Godot. So Dylan, you're in charge of that. Are you in your room still? I couldn't even hear you through the mic.
Yeah, I was muted. I smacked my fork and launched food.
Oh.
I reached for my mouse.
Fear not.
I also don't know how rigging works in Godot. I figure I can just import my rig.
You figure it out. You love it. All right, back to the video.
What? I don't have a fucking clue what you just said.
Should clear up a lot
I
of
think
the
you can just import them
confusion
from
and
Blender, so that's easy enough for me.
teach you how you can approach this with as much complexity as you'd like. Creating aesthetically pleasing 3D scenes doesn't have to be rocket science, and we can often rely on the ease of use of Godot to help us out. I've split
I'm sorry, CJ. I think you're the only one that heard me yelling. Dylan didn't even get to hear it.
this video up into two sections. First, we'll look at functionality, how we can design and
What?
prototype 3D games in Godot. Then we'll dive
Holy
into
fuck, how are you
graphics.
doing this, Ethan? Oh, wait, no, that's not you.
We'll get a good overview of the many terms.
Whoa. Do you see this? Oh, that's Blender. UV editing. This is the shit you be doing. I didn't know that's how that worked.
thrown around when working with
You
3D
talking about the
assets.
fucking
Whoa.
Workflows,
textures? I
and how
hate
to
doing
best
that
use
shit.
these assets in Godot. And finally, we'll learn how to render them
The UV
beautifully
map
in
editor.
the engine.
Fuck it.
This
Fuck it.
video
Your
is
computer
meant to
fucking
serve
up
as
the
a-
hell. That's how you do textures. 258 by 258 fucking thing into
What are you
Photoshop,
talking
and
about?
that's what a texture map's gonna look like.
Overview, not a follow along, so lean back,
Bit pixels.
grab your
258 by
favorite
258
snack,
pixels. 2058.
Why not just do it all in Blender then? Though
Yes, you just do everything in Blender and then import it.
your texture from like whatever.
Oh no, you take the UV map and you make a Photoshop file, and then you make it based off of that Photoshop file into the texture. So you edit the Photoshop file, save it, and then you look over on Blender and you can see it update live.
I have no idea what you just said, and we're not using any Adobe products.
let's figure this out. But first, this video is sponsored by Senma. If you want to
We
know
just
more
use the
about
pirated
Godot,
version.
make sure to
They can fuck themselves.
No, it's just like the.
Dude, why are you screaming?
I was yawning.
here and switch from 2D to 3D. And that's pretty much it for
was
this
saying
video. So if you
numbers.
enjoy, all right, there's maybe a bit more to it than that. Let's create
Oh,
Yeah,
a 3D
Dylan doesn't
scene,
speak English.
name it May,
He's-
and save it.
I speak
We can create something
gobbledygook.
to look at by going plus or hit Control A to add a new node. We'll search for
Control A to add a new node.
instance and add the mesh instance 3D. And
Mesh instance 3D.
here Godot supplies us with some primitive meshes that we can use. I'm gonna
Is that what I finally figured out how to use? Yeah, that's how. That's how. Yeah. Okay. Let's.
choose
Moving
a
on.
new box mesh. And we can of course orbit this box by holding down middle mouse, pan using shift middle mouse.
I am doing something very quickly. I'm sorry. Flat grass texture. I like this. Let's steal that real quick. Oh, hi, Copper. Bro came back in. Okay. Control S to save, Dylan. Control S to save. Remember it. Write it down. Copper is going crazy. Control Y is the opposite of undo. That's
And
huge.
using scroll.
Did not know that.
Just like in 2D, selecting something and hitting F
Really?
will focus the view
Yes.
on that node. And by holding
Huh.
down the right mouse,
Okay, maybe in Godot it's the opposite, but in Notepad it isn't.
button and using the vast keys, we can move in free look mode, which is a very nice way to move around, especially when designing levels. And adding shift to this will make you fly faster. In 2D, and using shift middle mouse, and zoom using scroll. Just like in 2D, selecting something and hitting F will focus the view on that node. And by holding down the right mouse button and using the vast keys, we
Okay, write down. Okay, holding down right click and WASD will make you fly around. This texture doesn't look correct. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I got really close to this texture and it doesn't look right, so I'm trying to figure out why. Like, does this look 3D to you? Like, it doesn't look like it has any... Ooh. Stop. Okay, we're gonna revert back to this one. Plug that in there. Oh. There we go. There's the wood texture. Very wood looking now. You have to like crank it though. Copper really wants attention. He won't just. He keeps meowing like crazy. Okay, Copper. It's okay, Copper. Hey, Copper. I gotta check on the other cats real quick. Wait. Jono, you were there the whole time. Oh my gosh. Okay, all the cats are accounted for. We're good. Never mind. And then what else was I looking into? What else does this texture do? Oh, there is an ambient occlusion one. Ambient occlusion. Is this one it? No, that's the metallic. Roughness, ambient occlusion. Hey, Dylan, do you know what UV2 is? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no.
I don't have a fucking clue.
Wait, what is displacement? Is that height? Is height displacement? Detail, UV2, sampling, transform, grow? Transform, distance fade. Okay, one last thing, and then I'm back to the video. I'm sorry. Metallic. And then I'm gonna add... Shoot, I did not mean to do that. I just gave it freaking... wrong. Here, there we go. Metallic. Wait, wasn't there one more? Roughness, normal, base color. And that's all of it. Still looks a little wonky to me. Looks like some good wood, but it looks weird. And all the shortcuts to Discord. Thank you. Not really seeing anything to hear happening. Oh. UV. Well, what did I just do? What did I just do? Oh. Offset. Do you know how textures do the thing where like they like repeat a lot and they look weird, and there's like a way of overcoming that? Do you know what I'm saying, Dylan? Like to get over the fact that like this looks tiled. Like I can see tiling in here. Looks a little bit better in here. I wonder what happens. Okay, I'm gonna put this on hold for now.
Can move in free look mode, which is a very nice way to move around, especially when designing levels. And adding shift to this will make you fly faster. In 2D in Godot, we normally work with pixels. Moving a node 1 unit corresponds to moving it 1 pixel on the screen. However, in 3D, this is not the case. Instead, it is common practice to equate 1 unit to 1 metric meter. And many assets that you find online will be scaled to fit this. As we can see, this box here is currently 1 meter on all sides. And if we look at the transform, we can see that all of the position data is in meters. And we can of course adjust this here, or we can use the gizmos just like in 2D. We can switch between select, move, rotate, and scale, or use Q, W, E, and R. Here we can move the node on different axes using the arrows, rotate using the arcs, and scale using the squares. To scale uniformly, simply click and drag outside the gizmos. Holding down Control while translating toggles snapping. And pressing this box here, or T on the keyboard, will switch to local mode. In local mode, the gizmos follow the orientation of the node, and in global mode, they are simply ignored. A quick tip is that you can actually bind these manipulations to happen on a key press similar to a program like Blender. To do this, you go to Editor, Editor Settings, Shortcuts, and if we search for Begin, we can bind keys to rotate.
Okay.
And a very common way to do this is by using a technique called gray boxing, also known as a level blockout. Here you use simple shapes to lay out a rough draft of your level. This way you can make sure the level works well before getting bogged down in the details. And this is one of the things that Godot makes very easy with its built-in CSG nodes. CSG stands for Constructive Solid Geometry and allows you to quickly make levels and props by combining simple shapes. And in the end, you can even export your gray box scene and bring it into a 3D modeling program such as Blender to use as a base. So let's try it out.
Oh, interesting. So Dylan, you can use like basic shapes in Godot, block out a scene, and then export that all as one like mesh. And then you can bring it into Blender and then change it up however you want to in there.
Almost always work with
Nice.
snapping enabled.
Yeah, white boxing.
So at the
They're
top
calling
here,
gray.
we
Gray
can
boxing is
enable
usually closer to
snapping,
final.
Press
Yeah.
Y, and we can configure the snap under.
But I was telling CJ about my age-old idea of just seeing if you could get like bed wars working in Godot, you know. So
true.
that would all just be voxels, and we haven't even gotten to that. So
Transform, configure snap. I'll set this to 0.1, 10 degrees, and 10% scale. Now we can add a new node and search for CSG, and as you can see, there.
So I'm not sure how much I need to know about that.
Box. And here we can
Gray
simply
boxing.
click and drag on the handlebars.
Let's just skip to
Now, I should
terrain.
mention that so far this is turning into an architectural level, but sometimes you want to work with more organic environments, such as for large outdoor scenes. Here it is common to use a terrain tool that allows you to sculpt and paint a terrain to suit your needs. Godot doesn't have a built-in solution for this, but there is an extension called Terrain 3D, which is quickly becoming the go-to tool for terrain in Godot. Creating terrain is a really fun and creative process, but
Terrain
it's not within
3D.
the scope of this video. Let me know if you'd like to learn more about terrain and foliage in the future. Alright, so
CJ, so voxels come in two different styles essentially. Minecraft and then this kind as well. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Like the classic cubed. I'll just show you one right here. This. It's like polygons. So my gosh. I'm so white. You know. Is that better? No, that did not fix it. That fixed it. Okay, so you can either do your default cubes or voxels can be made out of like basically triangular shapes. Decagons. Dekugans. Byakugan? I like Byakugans. And they both have their places in style and stuff like that. But with different angles, height, etc. Yeah. I do like Minecraft's idea of doing 1 block, 1 meter. That's interesting. And I had thought like, so there's this
Placing
there's
needs
this
to be different from breaking.
there theoretically could be like a way that you could merge these ideas and concepts to where like you have a world that flows and looks like don't my ears. Please. Thank you. Those bowls are kind of cursed. They just like are super scratchy for some reason. So where your world flows more organically, right? But then when you go to use a tool, shovel. So it's like a shovel, right? A shovel to dig out like an area, it takes out a perfect cube. Maybe there's a mechanic in the game where you can swap between breaking and placing cubes, and maybe something like this. That might be possible. Something that I've always wished that I could do in Minecraft is place, and there was a mod like this, where instead of it just being a block, you could also, it's called chiseled, and it turns blocks into smaller blocks. And it turns those blocks into smaller blocks and smaller blocks. I'll just do this. Down to where each block is 64 by 64. And you could individually place every single one. It's possible because like they both have like their ups and downs to the way they look. I feel like Minecraft looks cool, but when you really want to do like fine details in Minecraft, you can't. It's very hard, and unless you have mods, it's just not there. Like there's new games coming out that look like this, and that's kind of interesting. So it's kind of like a style choice. This style or a more smooth and organic looking. Let's see here. Doesn't look like, but I don't know. To me, it's easier to build in cubes, but it looks better when it's all smooth. Is that Minecraft? That is Minecraft. Okay. Less distractions.
To play our game, we need to add a camera. So let's add a new node, camera, and select camera 3D. I'm gonna move it over so that it can see our level and rotate it down. Remember, we can always preview it by selecting this toggle. Cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be easier to decide how and what to do those things when you've at least figured out how to do, anything. Since we are still learning together right now, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't really even matter in a sense, but it is something to think about.
So the camera now has a view of our level. And if we now click to play or press F5, it will ask us to set a main scene. We'll hit select current. And our level looks not very exciting, even for a gray box. That's because by default, Godot uses a preview sun and environment in the scene view, but not when running the game. In fact, we can toggle the preview sun.
Oh yeah, you can toggle the sunlight up here. Why can't I do this one? Green base. Oh, okay.
An environment using these buttons here. And if we expand, we can even adjust.
When I first set this up, and I think you saw this too, CJ, when you first set up Godot and you set up your project, it asks you if you want to do it settings. I wonder if you can see it in here somewhere. Accessibility? No. Renderer? Yeah, somewhere in here. It asks you if you want to do... Oh yeah, so rendering method. Mobile compatibility 4+. I was trying to toggle some of these settings over here, and you can't if you're on mobile.
Direction. And we can also add them to our game. So let's simply hit add sun to scene and also add environment to scene. As you can see, this creates two new nodes, a directional light, which is our sun, and a
That's another thing to think about. Whether or not you want the game to include PC, console, mobile. It is the easiest to develop for PC because you're not limited. Mobile has the widest reach. You know, most people are on mobile. And, you know, console is like kind of like, I don't know, kind of hard at this point. Because you need to have like, I don't know, you have to have like a big popular base to even make it to the console.
environment. The sun we can now rotate to adjust where it's shining from. And the world environment we'll talk about later. And now if we play, we can see our level. But what fun is it if we can't move around it? And for this, we need some kind of character
Okay, so
controller.
here we go.
But just like in 2D, creating a solid controller can actually get pretty complicated. And the needs of the controller entirely depends on the game that you're making. Is it first person or third person? Does the camera move freely or is it bound to a character? Do you need jumping, double jumps, wall jumps, stairs, slope, sprint, crouch, prone, swim, attack while swimming? It's too much. And this is not a video about character controllers. Luckily, there are a lot of good resources about making different types of controllers available. So instead of spending the next hour programming a controller that might not be right for you anyway, I'll link to some that you can check out. I would recommend starting simple. You can always expand on your controller as the game progresses and you get more comfortable. I've also gone ahead and created a very simple character controller to use for prototyping first-person games. I call it the Proto Controller. You can download it for free. It's under the CC0 license, so you can use it for anything. It's designed to be simple and has basic movement with...
Mobile is hard because the hardware is not as powerful. So you'd have to be more clever about how to make the game look good. And even though PC hardware is, a lot of people have old PCs, it's a lot more compatible with everything, even the old stuff, you know.
Options for jumping, sprinting, and a free fly mode that I find super useful when testing. To import, simply take the Proto Controller folder and drag it into your add-ons folder in Godot. If you don't have an add-ons folder, you can simply go ahead and create a new folder, name it add-ons, and now we can drag our Proto Controller in there.
Okay, so he's
and
just
that's it. We can now go
letting us
take the
download
Proto Controller scene and drag it into our gray box level. We can get rid of the camera we created before, and now when we play, we can look around, move using the arrow
Okay, but
keys,
show us
and
how you
even
made
jump
the
using
character
space.
controller.
To get control of our mouse back, we hit escape. And if we go into the controller, we can see that it's super simple. Again, this is intended for easy prototyping, so I've kept it very bare bones. It has a character controller to drive movement, a mesh instance for temporary graphics, a collision.
Okay, so on your base for your player, you don't even need a node. you can just go straight character controller. And then he separates the character into a head and then camera. Interesting.
shape, and under the head node is a camera 3D. The script references the collider and head nodes, so leave them be unless you want to modify the script, which, if you want to, is as simple as clicking the script button, and
Okay, yeah. Here we go. This is a lot.
here is all of the code. On the top node, we can choose which features we want to include, as well as adjust some speeds. I'll enable sprint and
He has a video
this creates
about specifically controlling a character, and I think that's kind of important to look at. Oh yeah, there's one too. Explaining GScript. Whoa. What? Bro said hello, goodbye, and then hello? 5 years ago? What happened? What did I miss? Oh, lighting in Godot. That's huge. That one's huge. Well, he said he had somewhere. First person, third person. Let's do. Oh, source like. And that's another thing to think about. Movement. How do you want your character to move, and what mechanics as well? Let's just do.
It's Lucky. Welcome to the first part of this 3-part
Whoa.
Ultimate FPS Controller tutorial series. We're going to start off by setting up a basic FPS controller with crouching, jumping, sprinting, all the basic stuff. In the next couple of tutorials we'll go more and more in depth on building this amazing controller.
Whoa.
So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so let's get into the basic FPS controller. I'm going to
That's
supply
funny.
this assets folder. In here we have some basic textures and HDRI to set up the scene. The textures are the grids from Kenny. I'll leave a link to his website and the textures below. But you can also just download the folder from the GitHub of this tutorial. There's also an HDRI.
Sorry.
This might be the biggest game made in Godot. This game has a massive open world. The game includes random generated cities, driving, cooking, online co-op.
What is this? Bro. Oh, okay. It's an ad. Sorry, I got distracted by a short ad.
It's just a pretty sky to have something to look at instead of the default.
Right. Like, we can think about it, but until we really know what we're doing, you know, it's just kind of like, oh, this would be cool, you know, or that would be cool.
So, once you have your assets folder, it's time to start up Godot. I'm using version 4.1.1. You can use any version you want. There's nothing specific for 4 or 4.1, but this is just the latest release right now. So I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to drop it in my Godot projects folder. I'm going to name it first person controller. I'm going to click create folder to create its own folder and click create and edit. Let that load up. And the first thing we're going to do is drop in our assets folder. So you can just drag and drop your assets folder into the res. And now that everything's imported, let's set up.
Okay.
I'm going to use a.
Okay, here we go. This is the important stuff. Input map. Editor. Project. Go to settings. Input map. Okay, here we go. Let us do add new action. Left. Add. Right. Add. What is he doing? Okay, cool. Forward. 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 There we go. board, and left. We add A. Oh, A. Right. D. Forward. W. D. Boom. Okay. Back. Let's see here.
So we're gonna do a sprint button.
Okay, he's adding a sprint. Let's go ahead and do that. Sprint. And jump. And did my jump just get deleted? Am I crazy? Yeah, then you just mentioned those in script and add a constant and apply it to the UI. Yeah, it would be kind of cool to have like you launch the game and then you can go into your options and then see these and then change these how you want them as well. Sprint, I use shift. Jump. Not sure what happened to the first jump. Spacebar. UI, I actually found Godot and UI to be pretty interesting. I haven't done it in a while, but I did like it. Okay, back to player. What are we doing?
Button and crouching. So we're gonna do a crouch button.
Oh, okay. He doesn't have a jump. He forgot jump. Bozo. Project settings. Crouch. Crouch. Can't spell today. Crouch. Control. Okay.
Next, we'll set up the key codes for these commands. So for forward, we're going to use W. For backwards, we're going to use S. For left, we're going to use A. For right, we're going to use D. And for sprinting, we're going to use Shift. And for crouching, we're going to use Control. So now this is all set up. I can close this out. Next up, I'd like to do some file organization. So in my file browser, I'm going to create 2 new folders. The first one is going to be scripts. And the second one is going to be scenes. So of course in the scripts folder, we're going to put all our scripts, and in the scenes folder, we're going to put all our scenes. And speaking about scenes, let's set up our main scene. So on the top left, we'll click new 3D scene, and we'll call this scene, or we'll call this node, by double clicking the node, world. In this world, we're going to have a couple of things. So let's also separate those out by right clicking the world node, add child node, and creating another node 3D. You can just search for node and click node 3D. And this one is going to be our stage. The second thing we're going to add to the world is a container node for the environment and the lighting. So I'm just going to add another node 3D, call it env. And in here I'm going to drop my sunlight and my environment, which will take care of the skybox and post-processing effects. To easily add these to your scene, you can click the 3 dots up top here, and click add sun to scene, and click add environment to scene. And you could just leave.
Did I do that? No, I didn't. I know how this works. I don't think. Whoa! Okay. Sun doesn't seem to be doing anything. Maybe it's like shadows on things? Okay.
Leave them right here in the root of the scene, but I'd like to put them in their own little nodes so everything stays clean. And speaking about world environment, let's add the HDRI that we put in the assets folder. So you can click on the world environment on the top left, and then on the top right, click on the environment, and in here you have a tab named Sky. Drop this down and click Sky again. Oh, not the drop down, just this one. In here you can see sky material. Right now it's using a procedural sky material that comes with Godot, but we're going to use our own HDRI. So you can click on this one and click the little refresh icon to clear it out. You can see the sky disappeared. Click empty and click new panoramic sky material.
Panoramic sky material.
This one will say empty. You can just click on it and click quick load to find our own HDRI. You can
HD.
see it's the first one on the top. .hdri. Click open.
Oh,
This
how
loading
pretty.
always takes a little while. Sometimes it even crashes. As you can see right here, it's doing a little weird stuff. But finally, it works. Now we got this beautiful sky in our scene.
Wow.
But of course we also need a floor. So this is what we're going to add next. Go into your stage node, right click it, add child node, and search for box. We're going to use this CSG box 3D. Click create. And we're using this CSG box here instead of just a normal mesh because it has easy collisions.
Oh. Okay, so even if we are doing voxel stuff, knowing how these boxes works, because you don't have to make a, you don't have to give it, like the mesh and the collision are already built
In
in.
fact, you just have to tick this little box here on the right.
Cool.
Use collisions. And now the player and other objects can collide with this box. Now right now this box is 1 meter by 1 meter, which is a bit small for a floor. So let's change the size. Here on the top right we can set it. I'm going to set the X to 20. The Y can stay 1 because this is the height. And the Z also 20. Now we have a nice big floor to work with. Then I'm going to scroll down in the CSG box to transform. And I'm going to move it down a little bit. So it's on the world origin. You can see right here the lines of the world origin are going to the middle of the box. We would like the box to be a little bit lower so we can still see the world origin. I'm going to do this by setting the Y to minus 0.5. Again in transform in the CSG box. And now you can see it's nice and aligned with the world origin. Now let's put in that beautiful grid texture that we got from Kenny.
Okay.
And that's the
Texture.
stage all set up. Now let's get into the player. But before we do that, we're gonna save this scene. This is the shape used to collide with the floors and the walls and everything around it. So we're gonna add this. Right click the character body in the world node, click add child node, and search for a collision shape. We're gonna use collision shape 3D. Create. Then right here on the top right, we're gonna set a shape for this collision shape 3D. So click on empty. We're
Capsule.
gonna use a capsule. Now you can see the player is stuck halfway in the floor. This is not what we want. So you can hold down control on your keyboard, grab the little green arrow, this is for the y-axis, and drag it up by 1 meter. This will align the character perfectly with the floor. So now we got our basic player shape. Let's add a little camera to him. But we can't just add a camera straight into the collision shape. We're gonna need a pivot. This is so we can move the head independently of the player body. And so for this, we're going to go back into character body 3D, right click it, add child node, and search for a node, and add a node 3D. This is going to be our head. So in a transform, we can set the height of our head. Your player can be any height you want, but I'm going to make mine 1.8 meters. And then finally, in this node, we're going to add a child node, again by right clicking the node, adding a child node, and searching for camera 3D. And that's what we're going to view from. That's our head. Now, let's rename these nodes so everything makes a little more sense. The character body 3D, it can be player. You can rename the nodes by double clicking them. The node 3D, that's going to be our head, is going to be named head. The rest we'll leave as is.
New idea. Let's hear it. Make a tunnel to transition my game from 2D to 3D. It's very possible. So I could focus on both. That's gonna be pretty hard. I think your best bet is to do, if you want to make a tunnel between 2 and 3D, you probably just want it to be all in 3D. It's just that when you are in 2D, you're looking at yourself from the side as if it was 2D. But that would be pretty hard.
For now. Now, in order to control the player, move it around and look around, we're going to need to add a script to it. This is easily done by clicking the player node. Make sure you're selecting the character body 3D and not one of its child's nodes. And clicking the script button, attaching a new script.
Template.
For the path, right now you can see it wants to save it into scenes, but we want it into the scripts folder. So click the little folder icon next to the path, click the little up arrow and go into the scripts folder, and we're going to name it player. You can also see it selected a basic template for this script because we're attaching it to a character body 3D. We're actually going to use this template, so you can just leave it as is and click create. And here you can see Godot already generated some code for us.
Godot has a template already? Interesting. Let's see when okay, I'm gonna follow the structure a little bit more better. New node, create node. We're gonna rename the node head. And we're gonna put the camera on the head. Head is up here, camera down here, back. Good enough. We're gonna delete this. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna make I think I did it. Okay. And then we want to do, let's hide these player.tsn. Oh, I don't have, okay, voxel scripts, new for player scripts. Okay, so underneath player scripts, we're gonna do this. Player, boom, player scripts. We're gonna do it inside of player scripts. Okay, wait, what did he do? Because I didn't give me the option to... Built-in scripts. What is a built-in script? What did you... Am I missing something?
Be named head. The rest we'll leave as is for now. Now, in order to control the player, move it around and look around, we're going to need to add a script to it. This is easily done by clicking the player node. Make sure you're selecting the character body 3D and not one of its child's nodes. And clicking the script button, attaching a new script.
Why does he have a template? Oh! Okay. Okay, there we go. Right here. Now, we're gonna go for it. Let's see. Didn't work. Ooh. Godot names them all UI underscore. He didn't do that. I wonder if he changes it.
This is a function that is run for every physics out in a minute. and then it's getting a different scene, which is going to be copy it and paste it everywhere where it's used, and the same for jump velocity.
Okay, so he doesn't like the way that they're all caps or something.
Right there. Next up,
You made it a UA, right?
you
UI,
can see
right?
the current speed variable in this
We'll see
controller is a
where
const,
he's going
which
from here.
means it's never going to change. But in our case, we want to sprint or want to crouch, and in those cases, the speed will change. So we're going to change it to a variable. And we're actually going to rename it a little bit again, because it's not going to be the constant speed of the player, but it's only going to be the current speed. Cool. So we'll prefix it with current. Current
Right.
underscore speed.
I'm gonna see what he does first. Just he changed like
Then
4
we'll
things
copy this
already.
again.
He didn't like the way that speed was
Replace it
capitalized.
everywhere where speed is used. And we're going to give the controller a couple of more speeds to use. So we're going to create
Okay, does he?
change it back to const. If not, so L forward and UI down to
Yeah, he's renaming them. Yeah, I didn't put UI in front of them. Wait. Oh, let's see here. Show built-in actions. Ooh. Okay, wait. UI right. This so he has, or not he has, Godot has built in. So instead of, yeah, and then it has joypad buttons and joysticks. So you could plug in a controller, it looks like. I'm gonna use the built-in stuff because why not, you know? It's already there. Kind of makes sense. Anyways. Down. It doesn't have a jump though, does it? Wait. UI accept is jump. And that's enter? Or space? That doesn't make any sense. Let's see if that fixed it though, anyways. Ah, okay. Still nothing for mouse. No mouse movement. And then, wait, what? Why can't I just walk on nothing? There's no sprint either, and it's constant speed. Okay, back to the drawing board. If direction, else direction. I think I know why. So if we go to the player, then player camera 3D, and we add a script to it. I'm just gonna do this. Oops. We're gonna remove the script. We're gonna attach script. We're gonna do built-in scripts. I don't think it's